Hola Virgo, Sun, Cancer Moons. Welcome to your 2020 Sun Moon reading. When you view it is when you were meant to see it. Does not matter the time of year. I'm doing these in the order of requests in the comments. Be sure to post yours up. And while you're waiting for your 2020 reading, check out your 2019 Sun Moon reading that's in my playlist. First portion of this reading, we will go over the traits of your Sun Moon combination, and then I'll lay out the main cards for your 2020. We'll take a quick look at that. The second portion of this reading will be the link below to the Vimeo reading, where there will be a deeper interpretation of the cards with clarifiers. I'll be dividing the year up into 4 separate quadrants. So let's see what's up with Virgo Cancers. You guys are really sensitive to anything kind of going on around you, and you guys, you all can be hurt very easily, all right? If in your childhood and in your upbringing you had a really difficult life or just an environment that was really difficult, this is going to be even more true. You all are known with this combination for having psychological difficulties, such as fears that aren't really based on anything. Some of you might be paranoid, some of you might be a little bit neurotic, and if this was forged early in life in your childhood, it's going to be, it really is a difficult thing for you to kind of get through later on in life, okay? You do have a little bit of impatience. You don't like to wait very long for things. You're very practical when it comes to things, but you're very sympathetic. You're very giving. You're very sensitive people. You're kind. You're gentle. The only problem is, well, not a problem, but just something you want to work on in 2020. Think of these videos as things you should work on in 2020. And one of the things to work on is that, you being so shy and kind of reserved and so worried about what other people think is something that could really hold you back from being fulfilled in life and a lot of accomplishments. You tend to put up these incredible walls, not to let people in or to defend yourself. But most of these things that you're kind of defending yourself against, or what you kind of think is out there, is really just going on in your mind. And again, it can be just something left over from childhood, because people with their moons in Cancer tend to hold on to things. So you could be holding on to something from your childhood, and it's projecting in your present. So be careful of that. It's super important that your friends, the people you surround yourself with, are really bright and positive, so that you kind of, they keep you at that level. They inject brightness and positivity into your life. 2020, try to concentrate on being a little more assertive. If you want something, go after it. Some of the areas you all will do really well in is anything ministering to people. Medicine is something you could do wonderful at, because you have an attention to detail, but you're also you have compassion. You're a great organizer, very smart, so you can do well in business also. Be really careful of not getting into a relationship with someone who's going to run your life. Usually people that are very assertive are drawn to people with your combination. They come in and then they pretty much just take your life over. Usually it's because you're kind and you're giving, and people like that could see that a mile away. So stand up for yourself. If you do encounter somebody who's like that, who's being bossy, make sure you assert yourself to them, okay? Learn to be a little less afraid in 2020. Instead of running away from things that seem scary or whatever, just try to take them on. Think of them as a challenge and embrace them. Those of you that are in a relationship, figure out if it's for your greater good. Are you growing in your relationship? And if you're not, maybe it's time to jet. And you're very impressionable, so what goes on around you and the people around you can really affect you. Okay, so a lot of meditation, a lot of putting up boundaries and things like that is in order. So Holy Spirit, angels, divine guide of the universe, can you please provide your truth, your wisdom, your clarity, your insight for Virgo, Sun, Cancer, Moons for 2020? What do you see? What do they need to know to reach your higher ground, become closer to the universe and closer to the divine? for their greater good. Any messages that you have would be greatly appreciated. For Virgo, Sun, Cancer, and Moons, what do you see? What do they need to know? What do you see for January, February, March? For Virgo, Sun, Cancer, Moons, we have the Four of Cups in the upright. What do you see for Virgo, Cancer, Moons, April, May, June? We have the King of Swords in the upright. What do you see for July, August, September? Virgo, Sun, Cancer, Moons. We have the Devil card in the reversed. What do you see for October, November, December? We have the Temperance card. Okay, this is kind of interesting because what I see in the beginning of the year is I see an offer coming in. And I usually don't get this with the Four of Cups, but I'm getting it with you guys. There is an offer coming in and you should be taking up on the offer. But it might have, for some reason, whatever the offer that's coming in, you feel like it's too challenging, or you feel like you can't do it, or you feel like it's going to be more trouble than it's worth, or whatever that is. So you don't even pay it any attention. And instead, you're concentrating on these three cups down here, which offer safety and security and comfortableness. And so make sure you aren't being afraid of this incredible offer that's coming in and that you pay it no mind, because I think whatever is in that cup is actually something that you should take on, and is actually going to change your perspectives and actually change, cause growth and make you to change in a lot of ways. Now, I see in April, May, June, you going to somebody for advice. This could be somebody in law. This could be somebody in finances. This could be somebody in general, somebody who's very wise, somebody who is very good at stepping outside of the box and looking at something for what it is. And I feel like you're going to this person to kind of get advice from them in regards to a matter. And based on the advice that you get in April, May, June, I see you getting out of a situation that's toxic. Okay, so over here, you didn't take up on the offer. You go and you talk to somebody about it. And here you're like, oh, hell no, I'm out. So, and the thing about the Devil card in reverse, which is the card of Capricorn, if it resonates, is that you think it's going to be super hard to do. So you talk yourself out of it. You talked yourself out of it the first half of the year, I feel like, until this guy came along and said, listen, this is what you have to do, and this is why you have to do it. It's a smart thing to do. So I feel like even though you're anxious about it, even though you weren't 100% on it, you just went ahead and did it anyway. And then once you got out of it and you're no longer bound to it, you're like, whoa, wait, that wasn't the worst thing in the world. That was way easier than I thought it was going to be. So luckily for you, in October, November, December, I see balance being restored to your life. I see you being in a good place. I see you managing to blend everything in your life and actually feel calm. Your emotions feel for once actually in check, and you've created this new place for yourself that is wondrous in October, November, December. Okay, so if this resonates with you, consider a personal reading and/or click on the Vimeo link below. I'll go into this further in depth. Otherwise, best of luck to you in 2020. Adios from Veronica Garnett. Bye.